Bang, bang! What's going on, guys? You're tuned to another edition of the main event on Talkin Hands. So, as I'm Errol Spence Jr, joined by Mr. Danny Betts. We had to come back for the biggest main event, perhaps, of the year. Terence Crawford returns versus Errol Spence Jr. Before we get into that fight, let's recap the fights that were happening this weekend. We had George Kambosos getting it done. Controversial, but he got the win. And Inoue today. Danny, thoughts on the Kambosos decision? Agree, disagree, and then Inoue.
I want to apologize. I think I don't know if I'm buffering still. I know I was lagging a little bit. I don't know if I'm still good though.
Yeah, you're in and out, but
Okay. Well, yeah, I had Cambosis in a parlay with Inoue, and I got lucky as shit, man. He lost that fight. Like, I mean, everybody knows it. Hughes won that fight. That's one thing I thought too. I mean, he signed with he had a contract in May, I think it was, with Top Rank. And he'll get the decision. But this fight, man, Hughes clearly won that fight, and I got lucky with that parlay, dude. I mean, matchup for sure.
yeah, I definitely thought. I'll be honest, I thought it was a close fight. I definitely thought Hughes deserved the win, but I didn't think it was like robbery, as some people are stating. But yeah, Kambosos got the win. He wants to fight Shakur. Good luck with that. He'll get killed by Shakur Stevenson very easily if that happens. So bye bye, George Kambosos. But then perhaps the most impressive performance I've seen in a while. Inoue moves up in weight, takes Fulton's title. He looks like the man. He looks like number one pound for pound. Great body work, fantastic knockout. Danny, thoughts on Inoue?
Um, I don't know if you heard me. I might have to restart my thing because it keeps loading up. But anyway, man, just domination, like complete domination on that fight. It wasn't even close. He made it super easy. Like it wasn't even competitive, bro. Like I
Yeah,
was so confident in him. We would never get that line again. Minus 110 for KO, plus 275, round 7 and 12. Like, there's nobody at one. He's about to be undisputed because Tapales is going to be nothing to him again. So he's going to be undisputed in the next fight, pretty sure. There's nobody beating him at 126, in my opinion. I mean, we'll see where he goes. Some people want to see him against Tank Davis. I don't know if that would happen because I don't know if Inoue could go. If there's a guy that can make it all the way from 108 to 135, is him. But I don't know if he is gonna go to 135. So we'll see if we see that humongous fight. But the dude is legit, man. Like I remember the first time I saw him, he had to fight my buddy. Like nobody wanted to fight him. It was his first
yeah,
fight in the U.S. and they called up my buddy, that's a professional boxer, and he's like, dude, well, I mean, I'm not scaring nobody. This guy, I call, I mean, they call him the monster, but whatever. So I did my homework. Yeah, work like this dude is legit for sure. And that was the first time. That was years ago. His first fight. He's getting better. It's nuts.
yeah. No, I think Inoue's the man. I don't know if he can move up to 135 though, because the only guy who really moved that much was Pacquiao. Pacquiao, allegedly maybe steroids, yada yada yada. Inoue, he's what 5'5" barely. I don't think he should move up that high. Yeah, there's not huge fights for him at 122, 126. Obviously, 130, there'd be some big fights, but he'd be having a lot of reach disadvantages. And I'm glad he got the knockout because all I heard this week where his fucking hand wraps, how he wraps his hands. I was like, you gotta be kidding me with this shit. He knocks out everyone. He literally knocks out everyone. So yeah, good riddance to those people. Inoue gets it done. Fantastic knockout. Future's bright, and he's becoming a mainstream star for sure. Now we get to the fight everyone's here for. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, 147 welterweight championship bout. Rematch will probably happen. I believe there's a rematch clause, so it will happen regardless of who wins the bout. But this is it. This is the number one undisputed, perhaps pound for pound, at least for sure welterweight. Spence, current odds at our favorite book, mybookie.ag, have Errol Spence as the underdog, which sort of surprised me, but people do love them some Terence Crawford. Yeah, Terence Crawford, mybookie.ag minus 165, Spence plus 125, round prop over under 10.5, shaded to the over minus 260, under plus 180. Danny, thoughts on this monumental, historic welterweight bout?
On Bet MGM, they gotta have plus 138 for Errol Spence, so that's a better number out there. I mean, this is like the best fight we've seen in like. I don't even care about that Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao fight. This fight right here, for undisputed for the first time at 147 pounds. This is it. This is it. We've been and just Spence, man. Spence is a workhorse. He loves his volume. Great jab. One of the best jabs out there in boxing. He's got good footwork, good training camp, good coaches. The dude, I don't know what he's made of. He's got in car crashes. He's tore his retina, and he still doesn't take a tune-up. He goes right in there, whoops ass, and the guys are not the same afterwards. Like when he came back from the car crash, he whooped Danny Garcia's ass so bad that, I mean, I get it. There's mental illness and stuff like that and depression, but the guy went to depression. Like it was a lot. He was dealing with a lot of other stuff too, but like he wasn't the same. He changed weight classes. Like same thing with Kell Brook. Like everybody says that Triple G messed up his eye too. Errol Spence fucked up the other one. He's like, okay, let me take the other one. That's why they call him the eye snatcher. He wasn't the same after that either. Who else? Sean Porter, same thing. I was listening to his podcast earlier today, and one of his best friends, they call him Ant with 2 T's. He even said, "You've never been the same." I've never seen that Sean Porter that fought Errol Spence. I've never seen that guy ever again. Like I haven't seen him. Like he trained insanely for that fight. That was the best version of Sean Porter. And even Ant said, "I love you, bro, but I've never seen you the same after that fight." Like your own boy's telling you that. Like this guy, like he just takes your will. He takes a lot of things from you. You're not gonna be the same after fighting Errol Spence. Terence Crawford, you guys know him from 135, fighting at 140, and then finally at 147. I don't want to say I'm trying not to say this like disrespectfully because I know there's a lot of fanboys out there. When we break down fights, I have to pick a fighter that's gonna win, in my opinion, and how. Crawford, for me, his resume is a little overrated. He fought. Remember, he was with Top Rank. Top Rank is perfect. They're one of the best when it comes to matchmaking at the right time. He was even suing them for not giving him the big fights. But people forgot about that all of a sudden. And now he's saying that he's got like a crazy resume. I'm like, dude, you fought Kell Brook that was done, basically retired. Same thing with Sean Porter. Even his dad said he wasn't even training for that fight. He was already, retired. He's been talking about retirement for months. And he even said in his interview, I know they're friends. They're really close. Sean Porter and Terence Crawford. Crawford said, I didn't want to fight him earlier because we're friends and I want to fight him later. I'm like, what's the difference? You're still friends, right? Did you want to wait until he was a little bit declined? You know what I'm saying? Like little question marks like that. Don't get me wrong. Like the dude's skillful. He can switch stances. He's got power. But I think that's another thing. People overrate in my eyes. He is not that good in orthodox. He is a southpaw. I don't know why the hell he starts fights in orthodox when he's losing fights. He was losing against Sean Porter. He was losing against Kell Brook in orthodox until he switched to southpaw, and he's a better southpaw in my opinion. It's just a fact. Every time he goes in southpaw, he goes into killer mode. You can't do that with Spence. Like, you can't make those mistakes. You got to come full force 110%. If not, you're going to get laid out or you're just going to get worked for 12 rounds. And I think that's what's going to happen here, man. Like, there's levels to it. Remember who wanted this fight from the get-go, and that was Spence. He said, I'm going to get my belts from the beginning, my 3 belts, and I'll meet you afterwards. And what happened when they tried to fight the first time? Crawford made all these excuses. You know what I mean? And then he's playing these little games. He wants to do a coin toss for who walks in first, like things like that. No. And Spence is over here. Like, this fight happened because of Spence. Spence said, pay the guy. Give him this. Give him that. I want this fight. I'm not taking a tune-up. I'm not taking another fight until I fight Crawford. And he's just saying the same thing. I'm going to break him down. I'm going to break him down. Meanwhile, Bud Crawford's talking about, I want a coin toss for who walks in first. I want this. Everybody's talking about Spence, which is bullshit because everybody loves Crawford, obviously. And I'm a big fan of Crawford and Spence. I love this fight. I'm just keeping it real. I got to take, especially at dog odds, I got to take Spence. I can't see Crawford outworking him to win a decision. Like, the dude, Spence throws way too much volume than Crawford. Like, his jab is better. There's no way. I'll be surprised if he wins this decision. I think the only way Crawford wins this fight is by knockout. And he's got to teach me, he's got to show me that he can knock out Spence. Because don't forget who's been worse hurt. Crawford. He's been Bambi legs by Gamboa, a way smaller guy than Spence. Got dropped by Mean Machine that he was holding on to Mean Machine for dear life. Like, those are red flags, and people want to talk about Ugas. If you guys didn't know, Spence, after the car crash, had, surgeries with his fake teeth and stuff like that. So the mouthpiece didn't fit in correctly. If you see the right angle for that so-called hurt, when Ugas hurt him, he was looking for his mouthpiece when the referee said stop, and then Ugas hit him again. But people don't want to believe that. I mean, it's a fact. I was worried about that because I'm like, if that happens against Crawford, bro, you can't do that. Because if Crawford gets you hurt, it's probably curtains. I'm glad on the Showtime show, he got that fixed. He went to a personal guy, got his whole mouth and mouthpiece done. Perfect. The guy guaranteed him, like, that thing is not coming out unless you, like, literally, take it out. So yeah. I got to take Spence. I really think he wins by decision. Another thing is, this is a PBC fight, and Spence is a PBC fighter, obviously. Mm-hmm. If it's a close-ass fight, who you think is going to get it? And I do see a fight, even though I really think this goes to decision, I really think there's a possibility at the end for both fighters, but this line's like crazy. 9-12 for Spence is plus 1,400. For Crawford, 9-12 is like 550 at BetMGM. Not even half. That's total disrespect to me. I think Crawford gets a mid-fight, if anything. The later this fight goes, I think it's going to be Spence. But I really think it's going to be a decision, but I got to sprinkle that for sure.
Yeah, so we had a ton of people in chat. Shout Evan, Mills, Nate, Cab, Dirty Rag, Winner Circle, Joseph Sasso.
I love seeing all these Crawfords.
I was going to say Car Life VP, Von Polo, Rick the Ruler, MMA Jesus. I think we've seen one person pick Spence in chat. I think we had one Spence.
I love it.
And, yeah, I don't see it. Now, I'm not saying I'm a notorious Crawford hater. I'd say more I'm a Spence fanboy, I'd rather say, than like a Crawford hater. So I went with Jeff. We saw Spence fight Mikey Garcia. We're sitting right behind Kelly Pavlik at Cowboy Stadium. We're in there. Everyone around us, Mikey. fight starts. I think Spence
God.
beat some 400 punches to 80 or some shit by the end of the fight. Everyone's like, what the hell happened? I think Crawford's going to give a better showing of himself than Mikey Garcia, obviously. But what people are underestimating, I'm hearing a lot of Crawford's going to knock him out. Crawford's got big power, yada, yada. Spence couldn't finish Mikey Garcia. Spence,
because he was running. Did you see that fight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we were there.
He was literally like this.
Yeah. And the thing is, what Spence does that Inoue did perfectly today goes to the body. Spence targets the hell out of that body. Crawford's a smaller guy. I know Crawford has a long reach. Spence is going to eat that body up. Spence is going to be winning minutes. He's going to be winning rounds. Crawford's not winning the rounds. Crawford's going to flash bigger punches, but Spence is going to be the one outworking him constantly in his face, jabbing the him. Straight left, good body shots, nice hook. Crawford has big power when he catches guys, but like we're saying, level of competition matters. Spence is fighting the top guys when they're at their highest level. Crawford just beat, I forgot the guy's name, but
Amnesian.
Yeah, some bum off the street. Yeah.
Yo, and he was getting tagged a little bit too by him in the beginning.
Yeah,
I'm not old.
Yeah, I mean Spence, Golden Gloves, gold medalist. He's got the pedigree. He's got the size. He's the naturally bigger guy. The only worry is him getting caught in an exchange where he's going in, body shot, then Crawford tags him with like one of those overhand, like looping right hooks he throws, and then wobbles him, maybe gets him down, hurts him. I think the minute winner and the round winner will be Spence. My flag is planted on Spence by decision. Current odds, best odds, I saw as high as plus 260, which to me is like crazy. The odds for Spence being plus 140, I think is a little nuts. Crawford, I understand. He does switch well, but I think Spence with the straight left, with the jab, the constant threat, the posing, the getting at him, getting after him. I can't go against Spence. If Crawford knocks him out, tip my hat to Crawford. That'll be by far the most impressive win he's had. I get like the deal with the Porter fight is Porter's dad quit for him. Like he threw the towel. He's like, oh, we're done. Like he threw the towel. It wasn't that lopsided. It wasn't like a blowout. And then, the dad just said, no, we're done. Porter was done. Fight was over. I got Spence here. I got Spence by decision. And then we know there's a rematch clause, so they'll probably have a rematch. Then the odds will flip. So we'll see how that goes. Anyone in chat? Evan's right with this comment because hopefully Gaethje Poirier isn't going on at the same time.
I mean, I'll have it on my phone. I'll probably be in the backyard, or it depends how I feel, but I'll probably be in my living room with my phone and the big TV on the Spence fight. I really don't care about this UFC, bro. Like and everybody knows me. I'm a huge UFC fan, but I don't be stuck on the TV with this fight. But a couple other points I forgot to mention. Who's got the better camp and corner and trainer?
Yes,
by far, Spence does. Trainer of the year multiple times. Derek James. Better fighters. Frank Martin. Anthony Joshua. If you want to come Ryan Garcia, he is developing, but another fresh guy in there. Like who? Don't say Shakur, because Shakur barely trains with Crawford ever. Like Derek James against Bomac as trainers and guys that Bomac is horrible when it comes to adjustments. He trusts, and I get it. He trusts Crawford's decisions, but he just tells him like go get him, things like that. When Derek James is direct, detail, like he knows what he's talking about. And don't be surprised. I hear a lot of people out there saying, "Oh, Crawford's gonna outbox him." I'm like, y'all must have forgot, bro. Just because you just saw him whoop Uga's ass is going at him like Mexican style, kind of in a way. This dude can box, man. I'm telling you. And the things I've been watching in his workouts with Derek James, I think that's what he's gonna do the first half of the fight, and then he'll ease in and start like really going on him. I'm telling you, watch. He's gonna go right for that jab early, movement, pop, pop, and Crawford's up there. Okay, try and play chess, and he's gonna bank the first couple rounds again, like usual, and then Crawford's gonna try to switch. Another thing is, southpaw and southpaw is not gonna be the same when Crawford switches to southpaw. I'm telling you, he's gonna find that out. I think he's gonna find that out when he switches southpaw against Errol Spence. Like, it's not gonna be the same. He's actually, for me, he's gonna be at a disadvantage. But we'll see. At the end of the day, we gotta see it, because this is the type of fight that anything can happen. Crawford can knock this dude out in 6 rounds, and then, or he could win by decision, or Spence knocks him out, or he could win by decision, or a draw. Like,
yeah, Juan just said that. Yeah,
everything's on the table. Look,
yeah, I just,
and like you said, the rematch. I mean,
right. I agree. I just don't see. I think people are underestimating the defensive skills of Spence as well. A lot of people are acting like Spence gets hit a lot, but he doesn't. Spence is very good at pure boxing.
Because a lot of people, when they watch boxing, when they see somebody throw and land, they think it really lands when it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? When you pull and it touches the glove, that's not landing. They're blocked shots. You might hear some or you see it, but those are blocked. They're not landing. And another thing, Crawford's coming back. Like, he's coming down from like 135. And I know size is not. I'm the main one that preaches that size is not everything. Like, everybody was overblowing Fulton about his size, when I'm like, dude, have you seen his legs? Like, they're chicken legs. Dude's not. He's skinny. He's just a little taller. Like, this dude's like a little tank. Like, you know, but you guys forget that Spence fought at 154 when he was a kid. Like, when he was young. Like, 154, he can make 160 easy. Like, the dude's huge. And there's no rehydration clause. There's none of that. So, I mean, you got to think about those little things.
Yeah, it is crazy how many
you lying,
people...
Mills. Stop it.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how many people think Crawford is just going to knock Spence out with, like, the first punch he throws. That, like, I'm hearing that a lot. And I just don't believe it.
Well, when you come, like, when I talk to people, I always, every time there's a big fight, it's like the Tank Davis fight with Ron Garcia. I always automatically talk to my coworkers, because they're kind of either casuals. Mm-hmm. Almost all of them were saying Ryan Garcia. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm winning. Same thing. They're all saying, because they know Crawford, and what do people like? Knockouts. Crawford has knocked out everybody at 147 he's faced. That's what people see. They're I'm picking him. He's knocking people out. That's how people think. But they don't know about Spence. Spence is a silent assassin. That's how I like to say it. And the little nugget, you know what week it is? It's Shark Week.
Oh, is it?
It's Shark Week, baby. You telling me he didn't do this shit on purpose? Come on, man. Y'all gotta see the stars align. It's happening. I'm telling you.
I'm all in on Spence. I put in. I have a tweet from 2018 that said Spence is going to knock out Crawford when they fight, because that's when the fight initially could have happened, but obviously it did not. And yeah, Nasty Nate here.
They had to get the belts though.
Right.
P.
Crawford.
Nasty Nate.
On the throne. KO. Banana and Grapes says Spence UD. Mark's asking who should I bet, and James says T-Bud, Terence Bud Crawford. I don't understand this one. I've seen more of Crawford. That's why I'm firing him personally.
I can tell you right off the bat. Remember, Crawford was on ESPN Plus on Top Rank. Everybody could watch that shit. Yeah,
he's on ESPN a ton, but he's not fighting
Spence,
no one.
I know, but it's easier for people to watch. Well, you go buy ESPN Plus for $5.99 or pay $85 for pay-per-view where Spence is selling out. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You get more people watching ESPN Plus, and like I told you, Top Rank is really good at, like, oh look, highlights and TikToks of his knockouts and stuff like that. PBC don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I watched not Spence Crawford, his fight against Benavidez, and eventually he got the KO. Benavidez's size was giving him trouble a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, Benavidez is not good. Like, he's not good.
Well, yeah, and the issue Benavidez was having was he wasn't protecting his body. He was getting eaten up, and then eventually Crawford got the KO in his home city of Omaha. And yes, we kind of got Evan a little back there because everyone earlier, Crawford. Now it's no edge 50-50 fight. I think Spence is 60-40. I think they fight 10 times. Spence wins at least 6. Yeah, I would have made Spence minus 130, minus 140.
Dude, remember when we talked about a couple weeks ago? That line got smashed up to 200, minus 200 for Crawford, and then the buyback came and smashed the line for Spence back. I'm telling you, I'm not great at like thinking in the future when it comes to line movement. I would not be surprised that late money comes in on Spence and he becomes a favorite. I'm definitely not gonna be surprised.
I think when the weigh-in happens, people are gonna see the difference in physical frame and just like how big Spence really is. Because I think Crawford has the reach advantage actually, but
I think it's like 1 inch.
Yeah, but Spence just has just the way he uses his reach, his style, his just everything about him. He's like a pure, clean boxer. Now, the one thing I'll give Crawford, he's quicker. He's going to be quicker. Maybe he can beat him to the punch here and there, but
yes, it did. When Crawford was on top rank for the last 6 years, it was $5.99, my guy. And then they just raised the price like not that long ago. What is he talking about?
Well, I mean, Crawford was on, I think, that, and I think ESPN. Like, I think
ESPN, right?
On ESPN, yeah. Just like they did with
it's easier to see.
Like Amir Khan. He used to be a big ESPN fighter. You would watch.
Another guy he beat that was chinny as hell.
Yeah. Amir Khan is not too great. Yeah,
but at the end of the day, I mean, you could say the same thing. I love this fight. I'm so happy it's happening, bro. Because this is the best year of boxing like ever, dude.
Yeah, and then it's all leading up to Fury versus Ngannou.
Oh God! Don't get me started on that bullshit.
He's gonna try that jab, come in and get caught. I mean, that's what I'm hearing a lot. I'm hearing that a lot. That Crawford's gonna catch Spence with like a looping hook. Evan's asking.
I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah. That's what
you didn't. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna talk about the undercard. So I'm kind of familiar with Cruz. He actually, again, my buddy, being a professional boxer, he had a fight coming up, and then the guy pulled out 2 weeks before the fight, and then he had to fight Cruz last minute. There was nothing on him. This was years ago, and dude, he was smaller. He was more like bouncy, good movement and stuff like that. Gave him a fucking tough fight. It went to a draw. That was my first time seeing him, and honestly, I thought he won. Yeah, I thought he beat my boy. Yeah. After that, I started seeing his career. He gave a fuck. He fought Gary Antoine Russell. Like, he's fought some decent guys, and the guy's good, man. He throws a lot of volume. He's a tough Mexican guy. I don't know. It's a tough fight to call just because Nonito Donaire, he's 40. Dude's a Hall of Famer. Like, you can't take anything away from him, but he's got the power still. Like, it's a tough fight. I was thinking about throwing like a half a unit on Cruz by decision. I think it was like plus 275 or something like that. And then the other fight, Pitbull Cruz against Cabrera or whatever his name is. You know who this is. Cabrera, whatever Pitbull was about to fight. Who he beat in his last fight? Gabriel Flores. That bum.
Yeah.
Him. And now he's got to fight Pitbull. What? He's way bigger than him, but I think that's an advantage for Pitbull. He's going straight in there, and Cabrera has no power. I think he's got 7 knockouts and 24 wins. So I think it's like -300 for Pitbull knockout, but I'm gonna check out the rounds.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, Pitbull Cruz, what he did with Tank was very impressive. Then he got, I think Gamboa, he got him out of there pretty easily, but Gamboa's kind of shelled himself. But yeah, he looks good. He should get the KO. I agree there. And then the Nonito Donaire fight. Nonito is just so old that it's tough to really back him.
He's still good, dude.
He is good, yeah, but he's up there in age, and he's actually a short favorite. I'm kind of shocked. Line's not that crazy, like -170.
That line got crushed, bro. Cruz was like a +220, and it was just like.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that one. Nonito, obviously not the highlight of his life, but he got starched by Inoue as well. That was a great fight as well. Yeah, so I guess we can kind of wrap it up here unless Chad has anything else. I see Evan likes Pitbull as well, 10-12 KO. And shout out Seaborn Jenkins, Cash Tango. Salute to you too, my guy. Danny, we'll close it out here. Best bet. Where you're liking here, I think we're going to be on the same page against damn near everyone with our pick for Crawford Spence.
Yeah, I mean, if you heard the breakdown already or if you're late, I'll just take Spence money line. I think the best one out there is +138. Bet MGM, and I'm gonna sprinkle around 9-12. Because I think that number's crazy. +1400, 9-12 for Spence KO TKO. Even though I really think it goes to decision, I just think that number is definitely off, and I'm gonna take Spence money line.
Yeah, I agree. I like Spence. I would probably lean Spence decision, but yeah, Spence money lines plus money. Any plus money is good money for me on Errol Spence, who I have long rated the top welterweight in the division. I'm not going to go against him here, even though it seems like a lot of people do want to go against him, which is wild to me. So Errol Spence money line +130. You can probably get better, later in the week or maybe not. But yeah, Errol Spence gets it done. And for a little UFC pick, I'm going to take Justin Gaethje to knock out Dustin Poirier as well, just to add that in.
Pereira, baby.
Oh, that's a
Polish
tough
power,
one.
Polish power.
That's a tough
ass.
one.
All right, quick breakdown. He's only got 4 knockouts in the UFC. All chinny guys. Luke Rockhold, fucking Corey Anderson, Dominique Cruz, and you know who the 4th one is? When he fought Rakic, which wasn't a TKO because he got injured,
he broke his leg. Yeah,
exactly.
Whatever, yeah.
So I don't want to hear that bullshit about Polish power or whatever. The only thing, maybe the takedowns, but I think he's going up. Pereira's going up a weight class. Finally, he doesn't have to drain himself. Dude's gonna be huge. I think he's gonna have more power, be more strong to avoid the takedowns. And if it's a stand up, I gotta take Pereira all day.
Yeah, I mean, I won't argue it there. If it stays standing, Pereira should get the KO. But we will see. We'll see what happens. That's UFC 291 this Saturday. As Evan said, hopefully that ends before Spence Crawford, because that's a fight nobody should miss. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, this Saturday, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll be here next Tuesday, recapping the fight and giving you our pick for the return of Jake Paul as he fights Nate Diaz. We would go from Terence Crawford, Errol Spence to Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. We'll see you guys.
That's the best transition ever.
Yeah. We will see you guys next Tuesday. Have a good one, guys. Peace.
Big fish season, baby. Strap season. Let's get it.